Too high now?
Yeah, you can go live, Devon.
Okay, that's good.
Good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Live.
Hello and welcome to the Inside Track, the preview show as part of the European Athletics Championships in Apeldoorn. And we have special guests on this occasion. We're joined also for the first time by Tim Hutchings and Dafne Schippers, along with Alissa Szreter-Kelly. So why don't we start with you, Tim, with that wonderful view behind you?
Well, where do I start? That's the thing. I mean, I know I'm here in the Omnisport Arena in Apeldoorn, but there's been so much to celebrate at these championships. You know, I was blown away by the stadium when I first walked in, how beautiful it is. It's big, but it feels intimate. The seating's really steep, so you've got that real close feel. It feels like a cauldron, I guess. The track is fast. It's been lots of incidents, falls, pushing and shoving, very fast times. The 60 straight down the middle is obviously really fast as well. There's nothing to not like here. It's warm in here. The athletes will love that. I mean, Dafne and I are standing here now saying it's a bit too hot, but it's really warm in the arena, which is great for the athletes as well. So when you put all that together put it together like the ingredients of a cake, it's absolutely perfect for indoor track and field.
Well, we had such a fabulous evening last night. Of course, things really got excited when Femke Bol won that medal on the first evening. But gradually building into these championships, all of the storylines. But Dafne, just to ask you what it's like being in a different role at these championships and how much you're enjoying it.
Oh, I enjoy it a lot, and I love to be in this role. I love track and field, so for me it's perfect to be around all the athletes and in a totally different way, but I love it, to be honest.
Well, really excited for what's to come this evening, but we'll start with a quick look back. Alissa, just to mention something that you enjoyed last night.
Well, of course, it's going to be the women. Well, both the 60 metre hurdles, but I'm looking at the 60 metre hurdles. I was already excited about that, and I was not disappointed. Daphne would know a lot about European indoor short sprints, obviously not hurdles, but she's a twice European indoor champion, I believe, over 60 metres. But yeah, the hurdles last night were incredible. We had a European record, a championship record from Dita Kambunji, which is absolutely fantastic. And just a whole field of excellent performances. Skizhofsta was there, of course, and Visser in second. I mean, it went as in some ways as predicted, but I think it was still fantastic viewing for everyone.
Yeah, Tim, that was probably the performance of the night from Ditaji Kambunji, and there could yet be more medals within the Kambunji family, of course, but a European record, championship record time, that was phenomenal. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was absolutely. Sorry, were you asking?
Yeah, it was too. And you know, I
Tim.
think it's remarkable
Tim,
that
sorry.
the family have got the two sisters who are so strong. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it was the performance of the championships, not just the performance of the day so far. I mean, we're only on day 3, and there are finals to come tonight. Obviously, 3 track finals plus that 1,000 to round off the heptathlon. 4 brilliant jumps finals in the field tonight, but that's going to take some topping. I'm not sure if we're going to see a world record here at these championships. I thought we might do in the heptathlon, but it's maybe slipped away today in that in the last half hour, literally, in the pole vault. But that's going to take some topping. I've still got a hope, being a middle distance guy, that Jakob Ingebrigtsen's going to do something that might top Kambunji. But yeah, and what I loved about that record last night, European record, was the fact that it was a competition to the tape as well. I think that's what drove her to the record, was the fact that she had to run that fast to win the race. It's not like there was a gap behind her.
And of course, this evening we have Lieke Klaver going for gold on home soil. Dafne, that's probably one of the biggest things to look forward to this evening with Lieke Klaver. How excited are you for that?
Of course, I'm very excited. I hope the next gold medal. I was a little bit disappointed about the disqualification of Anning. It would be a very cool race if they could do it together. But yeah, I think there are a lot other girls who are running very fast this evening. But yeah, Lieke is ready for it, I guess.
Tim, I want to ask you about the heptathlon battle. It's been Sander Schottheim against Simon Ehammer. That back and forth that wasn't expected, of course. How do you think it might play out tonight?
Well, that's an interesting one. I mean, Johannes Ohm is still vaulting, actually. He's just cleared 5:20, 5:30, and I saw him attempting 5:40. I don't know if he's got it, but those two were both threatening the world record. The only problem for them is that the 1,000 that Ashton Eaton ran when he set the world record in Turkey, in Istanbul, gosh, 12 years ago now, in 2012. He ran 2:32, which is incredibly quick for 1,000 for these fellas at the end of 2 days of action. So I think they both have acknowledged that the world record is probably out of reach now, but they're going to be close. And again, as I alluded to just now about Kambunji in the 60 meters, it's when it's in the 60 hurdles, when you're pushed by an opponent, you get that brilliant competitive element, and you get a record coming out of it. So who knows what they'll do tonight? I mean, I think Schottheim is much quicker over the 1,000 than Ehammer, but Ehammer has looked supreme, and he might yet run out of his skin. It's going to be tight.
Yes, there are 13 seconds separating them on personal best. But other things to look forward to as well, Tim, including the men's 60 metre.
Yeah, and I mean, the British squad, when we're commentating for European athletics, we have to be very generic. We can't show any love for the Brits any more than anybody else. But right here now on this show, I think I can. And I'd like to see the Brits get amongst the medals. I mean, Robertson looked fantastic in his heat. They've got to contend with the semis and the final yet this evening. But I think one of our lads is going to get amongst the medals. And I don't know if it's going to be record-type performances. I'm not sure that there's anybody that is running tonight that will look massive when you look back the history of this event. But we talk too much about records sometimes, and I think what's a sustainable quality is great competition, great racing. I love to see that. I'm not so worried about records or super fast times.
Dafne, we know this event has been sold out for a long time, and that's probably what the crowd want, great competition. So how good has it been for you to see how large the crowd has been and how excited they've been so far?
I had a lot of very positive reactions from the crowd, from the people around. So I think everybody's so excited about everything around in the stadium. So it's perfect for the Dutch athletes that there are a lot of Dutch people are in the crowd, so it's really nice to see that, and they enjoy it a lot. So I hope the others are feeling the same atmosphere as the Dutchies.
Did it remind you at all, these championships, of Amsterdam 2016 in any way when you were competing?
Yeah, definitely. Amsterdam was also very special for me because it was the first tournament in the Netherlands for me. And here it's exactly the same in a different role, but I enjoy it a lot.
And a chance today to celebrate International Women's Day as well. Femke Bol, Lieke Klaver, Jessica Schilder, another incredible set of Dutch track athletes and field athletes.
Yeah, a lot of Dutch girls are really good, and you see the last couple of years all the medals are going for to the women in our team, and not the guys need a little bit more boost, I guess.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm sure that they can use that as motivation among the team. Sometimes it's the case you see your great teammate win gold and you think, I want that for myself. Alissa, something from you that you're looking forward to tonight?
It's written again, but of course looking forward to everything. I am very excited to see, like as mentioned, Robertson Azu. I've personally got quite a soft spot for Akinola. Eagle Jordan was fantastic. And of course, we've got Henrik Larsson, who was bronze medalist last year, 2 years ago rather. It's looking such open field. Most people are leaning towards Jeremiah Azu for gold. But who knows? I mean, he was looking very cheeky and easy earlier. I liked it. He kind of looked across at the end. It's not just looking at the time, like it's looking at who else is crossing the right slightly. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think anything could go. Who knows who's going to get the medals? It's very similar to how we had many events. I think the 400s also could go. The 800 on both sides, very it's great.
Yeah, look, some of the field finals are wide open as well, including men's triple jump. Angelica Moser looking for her 3rd European title in the pole vault, and Attila Molnar of Hungary in the men's 400 metres, looking to become the first Hungarian man to win a gold at these championships since 1985. Tim, I hope you won't mind me saying, but I think you were competing around those times.
I was, certainly not over 400 metres or anything particularly short. And actually, I never ran in the European indoors. I ran in the European outdoors 2 or 3 times. And I wish I had done now. I watched, I've been commentating for over 30 years, and I come to these indoor championships, Europeans and Worlds and so on, and I think, how did I not participate in this? Why did I not participate in it? And of course, the answer is, back then, far fewer people did indoor athletics. Far fewer people decided you could do an outdoor season followed by an indoor season and followed by an outdoor size, and that rhythm, which is the norm now, was considered far more challenging. I was a cross-country runner too, so I'd have been out in the mud and running across the fields, but I love it. And 1985, yeah, right in the middle of where I was performing well through the 80s, and going back to Molnar in the 400s, he looked fantastic last night in the semi-finals. Again, it's another event where the British pack had a difficult day, difficult performances. I'm praying that we can make up for it with Azu in the 60 metres tonight, for example. Be nice to get a gold for the Brits.
Yeah, Tim, just touching on that, exactly what you said about the squabbling in the 400 metres. With those finals to come tonight, are you a bit nervous about the races are going to be clean? It's going to be about getting into the bend first, because there have been some quirks about this track. Whether you can attribute that to some of the jostling for position that we've seen, or whether it's just racing incidents, that's hard to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, Laura de Witte is on our commentary team. She's been helping out a Dutch 400-metre run, and she's been saying how difficult these bends are, because they are steeper than most tracks nowadays, so they're very wide bends as well. And I think some athletes having trouble coming to terms with that lean into the bend, which is different to the normal lean, maybe. Amber Ranning disqualified treading on the line. I mean, it's a racing mistake. Anybody can do that. But we have seen quite a few races where there's been more contact than you would normally get. We've seen people go down, whether it's 3,000s, 15s, 8s or 400s. We are going to see contact. And unfortunately, indoors, even at 400 metres, the speed they're moving at, 400 metres is a contact sport. There will be, as long as nobody's really violent about it. And you've just got to hold your line and hold your ground and do the best you can. So I like that. It's an additional element to 400-metre running in lanes outdoors, which seems a little bit too clean almost, I guess, compared with indoor racing. It's fabulous seeing them going around those bends at that speed.
Yeah, it is fabulous, particularly for the crowd inside the stadium. So don't forget, we've got the live stream coming up this evening. European Athletics has a new app, plenty of social media content to watch out for across Instagram, TikTok, pretty much everything these days. I'll just finish with a final question to Dafne. I remember when you were competing, we once had a conversation about how athletics isn't the biggest sport necessarily in the Netherlands. So an event like this, you must really want to try and get some of these Dutch successes into the newspapers on the radio stations and onto TV. So, how are you finding the challenge and the hope of doing that to make sure everyone in the Netherlands is talking about the European indoors?
I think one of the most important things is the king is coming tomorrow. So if the king is coming, then you should make sure that track and field is important now.
That's brilliant. We'll be sure to give him a warm welcome. Well, thank you to Dafne and to Tim and to Alissa. This will be the Inside Track. We'll let everyone get a break, particularly Tim, before this evening's session, a chance for you to grab lunch and a coffee. So thanks everyone for watching, and goodbye for now.
Dawn? Kevin? Ollie? You done? Thank you, everyone. How was the technical experience?
Hey?